So really quick, some of you, it's kind of confusing. I feel like there's a lot of like little things with competition that girls, it's like, you just don't know. You can totally sit here. I'm gonna do a second, so I'm gonna do two for my other one. For girls at our competitions, other competitions are more strict. So if you do choose to do an outside competition, just always make sure you look at the dress code regulations for girls. At the Gym State Classics, so the ones run by Sean and Janie, there is no regulation for hair accessories. So some girls like to do flowers. So for syllabus, you can do like a cute flower, or you can glue rhinestones, or you can buy like a rhinestone hairpiece. If your girls do opens, you can always do something to coordinate with the costuming, but syllabus can also have things in their hair. Just so that you all know, because some other competitions don't do that, but you can do it at the Gym State, the gym, all the classics, classic comps. So those are our 3-week go-to. For IBA, whenever we do team things, so they're in costume with their team, they will have to do whatever their team sets. So typically that's the right part slicked back with the bun. For syllabus, so when they're just dancing with a partner and they're in their black and black, their hair can be any style. It just needs to be slicked. So for peewees and preteens, it is acceptable to do a half up and curled, but it has to still be like a gelled, done, like good curls. For juniors and seniors, it's has to be slicked. You can just do a ponytail, so a straightened ponytail out of it, but all of your hair needs to be into a pony. So you'll kind of see both of those. Okay, we had some technical difficulties, so I'm going to go through really quick what I use in my bag. I use the Got to Be Glued hairspray, or I use the Freeze It. So you can find either of these at most stores. The Freeze It is a little harder to find. It's usually at the top or the bottom, but then this is my second choice to go with. Both of those are really great options. For gel, just any kind of multiple gel. I like the LA Looks brand. It's just cheap and I feel like it works really well. I will pour it into some sort of tube. Obviously this is a ultrasound thing, but it works great. This is easier to control and pour on my head instead of trying to use a big giant thing. These should all last you for an entire dance season. So this is a buy once, make sure you write your name on it, and you should have it the whole year. Bobby pins, this is a brand I like. You can buy it at Sally's. They have black, brown, and blonde. So I really like these. They're a little stronger. You just want to make sure you get some that have the little bendy grips. I also really like the Goody brand of bobby pins. Hairbands, just anything regular. I recommend getting blonde ones if you are a blonde. If you have brown or black, it really, just try and get brown and black and don't use like the white or the blue in your hair. Always handy to have a squirt bottle, just whatever you want. You can get these for like $1 or $5, whatever your budget is. This is what I used in the video. Got to Be Glued. This is a spiking glue. You do not put this on your whole hair. You only use this for the ends that I show in the video. I'm using it on the like the wispies of your hair. The other thing you'll want to get is hairpins. These are a little bit more optional, but they're really loose. They kind of look like broken bobby pins because they have a set. This is what I use in the video to kind of set my hair nets when I'm styling before I put bobby pins in. These are a little bit more forgivable if you're not 100% sure, and then you can go in with bobby pins or pull these out if you blow dry and then remove them. If you glue rhinestones in your hair, I go with the clear Elmer's glue, or do your eyelash glue if it dries clear. Just remember to put this on your hair and then let it get tacky before you put the rhinestones on, or they'll slide off. This is typically a little more water soluble, so it's a little easier to get out of your hair, but eyelash glue that dries clear also works fine. A few different things I use if I have someone who has really fine hair, or if I'm doing a poof, I'll get a teaser comb. You can buy these at Sally's, Walmart, Brillums, anywhere. Then we have, sorry, I need to find them. I recommend you really need a fine tooth comb. So it's just really little teeth, and not the ones that get fine to big, just a solid fine tooth comb. I really like the ones with the metal ends. It just makes it a lot easier for creating nice parts. You can find these at Sally's. There's like $2 ones and $10 ones, so you can go and pick one. As long as you don't lose this, this should last you forever. I always recommend brushing your hair out or getting like a fat comb. Those are just a lot easier to comb your hair out with. Sometimes you just need a little bit extra. So the next thing are hair nets. These you can buy at Sally's. They're like $1 for 2. They have 4 different shades. So just, it really doesn't matter too much unless you have really dark hair, don't use blonde, or if you have blonde hair, don't use the black. And these are gonna have really little holes in them. So it's important that you get the ones that have the little teeny tiny holes, and you don't get the lunch lady hair nets. Those are kind of impossible to use. And just plan on, hair nets are something that are really fragile, so you will probably have to buy a new hair net for every event. Just something to keep in mind. So sometimes if they have blonde, because I'm blonde, I'll buy 2 or 3 sets just to always have some as backup. We briefly talked about lashes. These are an easy option. Just a tapered, just giving a little thickness, but they're not crazy long. I also, all of you get lashes in your makeup kits. Sometimes I'll also just get something like this. That's a bulk pack if I'm just using it for myself. These tend to be cheaper to get the bulk rather than buy the individuals. And again, you can get lashes really anywhere. Ulta has lashes, Sally's, Walmart. Just gotta find something that works for you. We're not going for like the really heavy look, but you don't want to get the naturals either that are short. I think that's really everything. And then turn to the video for everything else. So, and some people like don't use hair nets. This for me is just kind of the easier way, rather than trying to use all the hair and do the extra hairspray and the extra mousse. This is just more friendly, I think. So you just take a little piece and push it in, and then tell me if one's like, you're like, excuse me, ow. So yeah, so I'm just kind of going through and just doing a few base ones. So again, I'm just grabbing a teeny little piece and then pushing that into the hair. And then to separate them, so the tricky thing is your hair wants to separate, so make sure you also, if your curls overlap, that you use the hairnet and the pins to make sure they stay separated and it doesn't blend into one big one. So you can use a hairpin to do that if you feel like it's kind of an awkward spot, or an actual bobby pin. So I'll go right here because I want these to stay separated. So I'm just going to take this little piece and go like that. So now it's pinned down, so it's 2 separate curls.
So can you see that how this is different than the team bun? The team bun, we want all the girls to have exactly that same baseball size bun. So that's when we teach you how to wrap and roll that, and we'll do another video to show you how to wrap and roll to get a perfect IBA bend. This is something individualized for competition that doesn't have to be the same.
Okay,
as
I'm gonna have you
anybody else.
twist all the way around.
I think
Keep
that's a
going,
good look.
keep going, keep going. There we go. Okay, so that's, in real life, I would go back and probably put 10 more bobby pins in that. Because it's super annoying when you're dancing and then all of a sudden you have like, you can feel it flopping. So just always make sure it's really secure. So in real life, go back, always make your girls shake their head. Or like sometimes I will come down to my mom and be like, Mom, and she'll be like, it's wiggly right here. So sometimes you just need someone to look at it, or you can kind of feel as a girl if it's loose. I usually ask my girls, I'm like, does it feel loose anywhere? Because you can kind of feel if you feel like a bobby pin's getting pulled out. So same thing. I'm gonna go through and get this wet. Sorry. So there's kind of two different ways. If you like the style, some girls will have probably at the comp. It's like the crimpy, like the 80s little crimpies. That's coming back into the ballroom world. Do not get your hair wet if you want to do that. Hairspray it really good, crimp it, style it, and then hairspray it again. Don't put gel in it. So do a mousse or a hairspray, but don't get your hair wet if you want the little crimpies.
That's a good Utah look right now. I mean,
Yeah.
like mini clippers, like crimp the front of the hair, so it's kind of fluffy.
Yeah.
I mean, fluffy.
It's really cute. It's really cute, but so there's a few couples coming, so you may see girls do that. But I just didn't bring my crimper. So
Smile and nod at them.
oh yeah, perms are huge right now. Perms, like all the boys are getting perms right now. So same concept. I'm just gelling this, except I'm gonna go all the way down to her ends.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to do anything with the front of the hair. You could just slip it all back and just do a design.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. For her, I'm gonna do both.
Simplify.
But usually I say pick one or the other until you kind of get fast enough to where you feel like comfortable. On myself, I usually spend an hour on my own hair, just so your girls kind of have a ballpark.
I was gonna, yeah, that's a really good point. Budget at least an hour of time if you're gonna do something like this with her, just so that you can maintain a relationship. Because this, you cannot hurry this.
Yeah.
Because you just end up so frustrated and angry.
I mean, it's not like a boy where you say, go do your own hair.
Unfortunately, no. But you know, I say that, but then I'm the person who's like the youngest little Michael. I'm the one who's like stalking him while he's in the syllabus line, like, your hair's not gelled, and I'm like gelling it as he's waiting in syllabus.
Our children were dance orphans, so.
And then I'm like, come find me for the hairspray. He finally figured it out that I always had hairspray with me, but when he was younger, it was always like, someone was like, somebody go find hairspray for Michael. And so now I've kind of combed it really smooth. And so now same thing. You just kind of decide, I'm gonna scoot you this way so I can get to my hairpins. And this is where, again, I would use hairpins to kind of get my idea, and then I'm gonna go in and bobby pin it.
Let me share one thing before you pin her in. A big thing coming in right now are finger waves.
Yes.
You seen that? So they're doing, really, it's like this, you just get it flat with gel, and then you just wave it.
Yeah.
Okay, you just create a wave right here.
So a
And then
finger wave
Do that
will
one in. That's big right now. We see
is
more
a
and
finger
more.
wave.
at the
So
competition.
easy cheater's way is just to take your little pinch it and kind of just pull it, and now you've got a wave. So I'm gonna pin it right here
In the,
in like the wave cook. Yeah.
And some don't pin it, they just put on so much gel,
Mhm.
they do that,
Yeah.
and then they spray it, and then you blow dry it,
Yeah. So
and then it bakes it into that.
and that's where hairpins are nice because you can stick them on, hairspray, leave them in, and then take them out when you're done. So hairpins are a little more forgiving, unlike a bobby pin where it would leave an indent. So like if I did that, I would just, obviously I'm going to take that out, but then I can kind of, now it's not going to move as much. And then again, a weave, like I would just kind of pull it or use my comb and kind of smooth it out. And again, pinch it, get a hairpin, pull it up. So now my weave is going to kind of stay right there. I'm not going to have to constantly try and hold it.
And while you're watching that, I'm just gonna show you, this is what Ash did at our BYU competition. Just a split finger wave, and it's exactly this idea.
Yeah.
Just two heavy, flat gel pieces that she just molded. I didn't do it. My friend works at it.
Yeah, so same thing, I'm going to kind of flatten it.
So
there are no bobby pins in there?
There are no bobby pins in there, just,
You molded it to a cake?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just gel. It's just gel and
Yeah, so obviously I'm trying to go a little faster because I'm taking a long time. But that's kind of the concept. Your ends,
hard to do.
easiest rule of thumb for me is I always just hide the ends. I try and tuck it underneath something and put them there. Then I would go in. And just stick a bobby pin where it's hidden. This is obviously not perfect. But that's kind of the concept. And then I would go in with my hairspray. And again, same thing, I'm just kind of smoothing it. This is again where like a blow dryer is kind of nice if you're by yourself. Because then I can kind of sit here like blow dry and dry it out. And that really kind of instantly hardens it. So same thing. So that's kind of like rough speed version of a low style. Yeah, kind of, sort of, maybe. Not the best,
You
but
can look, do a Google search for ballroom hair and just get some ideas of designs.
yeah.
So now knowing how it's done, and you can find a design and copy a design.
There's YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of videos.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, Karen, let me see if you can leave that to us.
Oh boy. I'm sure it would last. Just come, I'll hairspray it for you, touch it up. Okay, my next person. Yay.
I say just do her, like, don't slick it all, just.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like speed slick. So whenever I do high buns, I just bend over and get my hair in a high bun. I don't try and do it like this and constantly comb because it's a never-ending battle. Do you want to take your glasses off? Yeah. So I don't get gel on you. Okay. So same thing. So I'm gonna do the front. And she's got thicker hair, so again, I'm gonna cut it. And cut it again. And cut it again. Oh, I'm gonna put gloves on. Let me throw some gloves on. Okay. So to do a high style, either style you can do for anything. Smooth standard, a lot of people do high, and Latin they do low, but it really doesn't matter. It's whatever you like. So you're gonna just bend all the way over, and I'm just gonna sit here and comb it out. And again, like right now, because I'm just trying to get it to all go one direction, I'm just using like a brush or a comb instead of my fine tooth, so you're not having that battle of trying to get it going. So same thing, she's got thicker hair, so I'm gonna cut it and do a base. And then again, same thing. I'm sorry. And the biggest thing with high ponytails is that you really just have to try and get your hair to slick really nice. So then I'm gonna go right now and just already work it. So now when she sits up, I've already kind of got my front back done. And this is a lot faster than trying to like comb it up and up. So go ahead and sit up. So same thing. And then going in and just kind of flattening it. Sorry.
Okay, some are new to barn, so while she's looking, syllabus, when we're talking syllabus, that is at the competition when you're dancing with their partner individually and not the whole team.
And go ahead and
singing the
sit up
same
a little
thing in
bit.
costumes. Syllabus is when they wear their black, and they're doing syllabus dances, which are waltz and cha-cha and swing and foxtrot. This, they're all around the floor, they're doing their routine, and the judges are judging them. They're called back to different rounds. That's called the syllabus competitions. So it's like you're competing your scales in piano or music.
So for the top, for the syllabus stuff, does it have to be long?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't. Dress cannot be sleeveless. So those are the only regulations on that. No cleavage, Grace. Those are the rules for the syllabus top. So it doesn't have to be long sleeve.
And for putting your own ponytail on, if you put the hand that's holding your hair, put the ponytail on that one. That makes it a lot easier because now instead of trying to get it around, I can just slide it off my hand and now it's already at the base. Then I can pull and I'm not fighting it. And always go for the third.
And if there are tears, it's okay. There is crying involved. And another baseball is involved.
And you know when we do our own, we always like crank it. Do not do that because then you're gonna get a nice little bubble. And you're gonna have to take them out and it's really frustrating. So if I feel like it's loose, I'm just gonna pull it, but I never pull the hair apart. So same thing, then I'm gonna go through. And then I'm just smoothing it out. And she's like me, she's got that curly flyaways. So then I would just go in with my like putty, it's really thick. And then I just go like this. And I really just do the base to get all my little babies from, and there's always the ones by your ear, so same thing. All those little annoying ear hairs, same thing. I really just kind of do like my whole around wherever you feel like, because that's usually the thing, like when my kids are dancing, I'm like standing there with my hairspray just trying to get all their little babies down. So this is actually a lot easier because they can't sweat this off as much.
So for team, let me just interject for team then. Team means when the whole team is doing the same routine, performing all together, and they're all in their team costumes together. That's when their hair will all be exactly the same. That's when they'll be team hair. So syllabus hair is individual, doesn't have to be the same as anybody else. Team hair, that will be when we do the civic auditorium show, the East Side Ballroom concert, the Gem State Team Day, the Utah Classic Team Day, and then the concert. When they do their team routine, that's when they'll do team hair.
Are we gonna be doing syllabus in Utah?
Yes, but it's all the same day. So if you do this in Utah, you do usually do team hair.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that back. I don't actually know if it's gonna be all the same day. It's 2 days, Friday and Saturday this year. And so I don't know if they're doing like junior team and syllabus on Friday and youth team and syllabus, or like all syllabus Friday and then all team Saturday. But yes, that's a good question because you will be doing syllabus.
But this Saturday, they can do.
This Saturday is only individuals, no team events at this one out.
Okay. So now I'm gonna do the two just to show you. So always put your bobby pin, when you bobby pin it in, there's 2 bubbles on hairnets where all the strings meet. So I always try and do my bobby pin right at the base of that bubble, just because then I know I'm gonna hide it, and that's usually the strongest part of the hairnet. And I'm just gonna stick one here and stick one here. And I usually do like a small one and a big one. And then for these, when I put them in, I'm not trying to like grab anything, so I just put it in straight. I don't try and catch my hair. And then I combed through her hair already, so now I'm gonna just split it with my fingers. And depending on your hair, sometimes you'll like, usually I'll get it a little wet or I'll put a little gel in it, just to, again, get rid of those flyaways once it's styled. So I'm gonna put all of this into this hairnet. And this is where some people, they don't do hairnets, they just style it with gel. You can do either way. This is just kind of like this faster version for me. And then I'm gonna take the hairnet, not the bottom, but just right wherever the base is. And I'm gonna split that piece of hair with the hairnet. And I'm gonna put a second pin right there. So now this piece of hair is totally separate. And then I'm going to keep a little piece out to cover my ponytail. So I'm gonna just have that little piece separate. And then I'm gonna do a big piece in this hairnet. So again, I'm gonna just open it. I'm gonna slide all the hair in. And you kind of just pull your hair in until it cradles. So you just kind of try and get it to lay flat inside the hairnet. And then I'm gonna pull it around. And find the bottom of it somewhere is over here. And then I'm gonna bobby pin it so it's now keeping that piece separate. Now I'm gonna take that little piece I left out. I'm gonna just comb it flat so it's really nice and straight. Throw a little hairspray. And now I'm going to go underneath my hairnets. And I'm going to cover my ponytail. So now you don't have to worry about trying to hide your ponytail if you're not doing a traditional bun that goes over the entire thing. So then again, I'd probably use my blow dryer at this point and kind of just sit there with my finger and wait till it's stuck, or just hang out for a minute. And just always be generous with the hairspray. Okay, so now I have I'm trying to think what's the best way. I have 2 different pieces now. So now you can choose to either do one at a time, or you can intertwine them, kind of just figure out here. So you kind of just
Season to taste.
season to taste. So this one, her hair, and you'll notice some girls' hair like will naturally just twist a certain way. So instead of trying to fight it, usually I just kind of just go with whatever their hair's doing. And really, there's 2 ways. You can curl it. You can curl your hair nets, or you can twist them. So I can twist it. Like sometimes I'll do like a little twisty thing like this. And then just twist it. And then I'm like, oh, cute. Now it's a little twisty thing around. So that's kind of an easy way. Or I will just roll it flat on top. And then now I have a little piece. So those are kind of 2 different ways to do it. The biggest thing is if you roll it flat, don't go underneath because you want to hide your hairnet. So I'll just, like this one, I'm going to roll it here, and now I'm going to just pin it down with my hair pins. And again, just do like 3 or 4 to make sure you like how it looks, and then you can go in and get it to really stick. So I'll do one right here. And same thing, like if you're doing your own hair, girls, it's kind of the same. I'll kind of just try and pin it, and then I'll look in the mirror and see if it looks good or not. So then again, whenever you overlap your hair, you just want to make sure that you pin down each one so that your hair still stays as individual loops and it doesn't get lost. So can you all see that? So, and then the back piece, you can kind of choose to, like one option, sorry, I'm gonna have you look down again. One option is you can spread it to take up like a large piece. Like if you're like, actually I'm just gonna have the rest be a bun, then it's already there. So I'm gonna kind of just spread it out and make it into a bun. Or you can do the same thing where I'm gonna say, no, I'm gonna twist it around and do the same thing I did up there where I'm just rolling it flat into a piece. And this is where, if you do styles like this, you want to try and get a hairnet that's closer to your hair color, just so it's not as obvious that you have a hairnet on. Or again, you can just use this with straight gel, but I think this is just a lot easier. You can sit up now. So then again, I'm just taking a little piece of the hair and going underneath my loops. I'm not trying to do the whole chunk of the hair because the hairnet's gonna hold the majority of it. So you're just trying to get it to stay down. And then at this point, I would probably do like 15 more bobby pins, just securing it, making it really tight. But this is kind of like a speed version of an updo. Yeah? And then always hairspray over your hair nets and don't comb it. I kind of just hairspray it, and then I kind of just use my finger and just kind of flatten it, trying to get all the little hairs that like to come out to stay down. So yeah, so then I'll go like this. And this also actually, I feel like hides your hairnet a little better because now the hairnet's hairsprayed into the hair. So then I'll just kind of go with the grain, right? Don't go sideways, go with the hair. Go with your curls and just kind of curl it in. And same thing if you have, I'm gonna have you turn around the other way. So for the base, I always again use this or like something that's a little harder because that's like where your girls are gonna get sweaty. So the gel and hairspray will sometimes loosen up. This will typically last a little bit better. And again, I just don't go crazy because there's no going back once this is in. And then I kind of just like use my finger, and hers is not very tight because I tried to go fast. So this is where you kind of want to try and make sure your hair is still tight, just like if you went down. And then I'll kind of go through and just comb all of these little pieces up into the hair around so it stays really nice the rest of the day. So then same thing, go here, and I kind of just go up. And then usually we have a little bit darker face. So just remember, if your hair is now slicked, the back of your neck is really white. So just always make sure you go with your bronzer or your foundation and give yourself a little color behind the neck. Yeah.
So for makeup, are we supposed to do like a darker shade of our foundation?
Yes. Yes. But don't go so dark that it's like super obvious. So you just want to look like bronzed. So you can do the same shade, but by a bronzer that's a shade darker, and just contour with that to make your face darker. Whenever we perform like at Civic, the lights are really bright, so you get washed out. I'll typically do my makeup a little heavier for that, just because you have stage lights on you. For competition, like Christmas Classic, the judges are me to you. So if your makeup's really intense, it's going to look really intense because there's no harsh stage lighting. And my philosophy is girls should look the age they are. So for my, like, anyone who's not junior, senior, like, you don't feel like you need to have the black eyeshadow with the heavy brows and the thick lashes and the dark lipstick. Just it should be heavier than day makeup, but it still should be age appropriate. Yeah.
So for some of this, should we wear our like one eyelashes?
It's totally up to you. I personally like to wear eyelashes just because I feel like when I have a lot of eyeshadow on, I just like the fullness of lashes. But you don't need to buy really thick ones. You can just even buy like a thin layer that's just longer. So it just gives your eyes a bigger look without being heavy, if that makes sense. And you can go and ask like the ladies at the shops, just be like, I'm just wanting something light. They can help you kind of pick out the right lash to go. So always go for length over thickness, especially for the younger girls. The thickness you usually want for older girls who are going for a more mature look. And any questions? Super fast. Yes, please do. Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah, you can come up, take a picture of any of those products and
Yeah.
our hair.
Go crazy. Thank you. You're gonna be a model probably for a minute, so just hang out.